Okay, welcome back to Taco Bowler Gaming. My name is Taco Bowler, and we're back with another timeline video for a run that I completed before I began YouTube, or a run that was off stream. Those are the two options here, and this was Hormuz. This was a run going for the achievement Strait Talk, which you have to start as Hormuz and get 10 diplomatic reputation. I then also added a second achievement to this run for a goal, which was to culture shift to Persian, form Persia, and get the This is Persia achievement, where you have to start as someone basically not Timurids or Ottomans, form Persia, and then take over all of Anatolia, all of Greece, and then all of Egypt. So that was the goal. The beginning of this run was fast, and this was the second attempt that I had at it. You have a core in Hassa, so I wanted to take that as quickly as I could. And then I released Yaz. I took them and then released them so that I could use their Reconquest CB on Oman. And this is important. When I used their Reconquest CB on Oman, I gave them their province. I took this one, which was less development, and I left them this one. And I forced their religion, which automatically converted their highest development province away from Ibadi. You have massive religious unity problems at the beginning of a Hormuz game, and that was one way I was able to convert some land without having to pay for it, and that was really key to the game. The second thing that I did was I supported the independence of Transoxiana, which made the Timurids overly weak. I was able to take some land from them, and ultimately I was able to take advantage of the power vacuum that would be in place here. I would grow into Arabia and grow into the Persia regions pretty well. I also, not only did I ally Transoxiana, I would eventually ally the Mamluks. So I kind of have the West secured by alliance, and I could keep my armies and my focus over here in the east as I grew into Persia and India and began to build a power base so I could ultimately challenge people like the Ottomans and ultimately backstab the Mamluks. So that was kind of the goal. And I knew that I couldn't grow too far without growing into Persia, because I have to culture shift Persian, and I didn't want to have to convert that many cultures of provinces if I didn't have to. So you will find that I have a lot of vassals. I have Yaz, I have Luristan. Of course, if you've watched my videos, you know I have a lot of vassals anyway. But I have Yaz as a vassal, I have Luristan as a vassal, I will have Baluchistan as a vassal eventually. And so we kind of have a lot of vassals. We'll eventually have Mazdaran, but that's a long ways from now. So we take a little bit more land from the Timurids, finally break into this area here, and really start growing. Baluchistan, we took them, released them, which they had a little bit more power. We took over Sistan. We took over some of this nice little land here, slowly growing in our power. Let's go ahead and speed up. As I still have to stay Hormuz until I actually get that 10 diplomatic power, which takes a lot of idea groups to finally make it happen. But I'm just continuing to grow. I will make Junagroth, whatever that is. They're a vassal at this point. And we're just going to continue to grow. And we will fight who we need to fight when we need to fight them. So we took over Yemen, and then Yemen became friends with the Mamluks, and we couldn't attack anymore there. So our options were pretty limited to India and up here. Luristan here. At this point, Mazdaran is our vassal, and we're just growing where we can, how we can. I did have some problems with Liberty Desire about this point, with a very large vassal, a couple of very large vassals. This was the point where that finally broke, when I managed to get Baluchistan off that list. You'll also notice that Delhi begins to get defeated pretty badly. And this was the point where I swoop in and vassalized Delhi. And if you can ever get to a point where you can vassalize a small Delhi like this, they have reconquest cores on like all of northern India. They're a great vassal if you can catch them small or even non-existent, to get those reconquest wars, which are so nice to have. I think I marched them to keep the Liberty Desire down, but that was a really good vassal to have over there and get those reconquest cores. I will also release Syria over here at some point, and that is another great one. There it is. That is another great one, as they have cores all over this area. I also come down here. I allied Ethiopia for the first few wars against the Mamluks, but they took some land in Egypt, which meant that I had to ultimately attack them later on, and I didn't hesitate to do so. I think I also turned on Transoxiana. But we're beginning to fight the Ottomans, so we took some land from the Ottomans there. We took some land from their allies in Gazamuk, and we're just continuing to grow to the west now. Our focus is entirely on heading out there and getting the land we need from the Mamluks and the Ottomans. You can see Syria was fully grown, and even I took a little bit more land and fed it to them so that they could use it. I had problems with monarch points for most of this game, but there is Persia, finally. And at this point, I'm just focused on the achievements. So we take Constantinople, we took what we needed for Egypt. We will not even worry about the Mamluks unless it's Egyptian land, right? We took some Ethiopia. Ethiopia completely fell apart when we turned on them. It was fun to watch. We gave Greece their land, vassalized them, or released them so that we could reconquest them as well. The Ottomans also fell apart, which was also fun to watch. But this was kind of where we're trying to mop up and get the last little bit done, and take these last few provinces from the Ottomans that we need. And I guess it's done. There it is. I kind of gave up on the run. I could, clean up some of this border gore here, but I just gave up ultimately. I think there was another game I wanted to get to. It may have been the end of the patch. I don't know what it was. It was patch 1.29. So in order to get to the 10 diplomatic reputation, which I don't think I still have, because so right now it would be at 9 if I was at 100 legitimacy. But in order to get to the diplomatic reputation, you get 1 from 100 legitimacy, or 100 Republican tradition, whatever it would be, and then you have to build them out. So we took diplomatic ideas, obviously, because you can get 2 from there. And then we took offensive ideas. We have influence ideas. We get 2 more there. You actually, I think that was it. The rest of them come from our policies that we have. So you can see here we get 1 from the Foreign Aid Act, which is influence and humanist ideas. We get 1 from diplomatic and expansion. We get 1 here from diplomatic and quantity. And we can get 1 from diplomatic and offensive. So this was the basic idea. Every idea that I took was toward getting that getting that diplo reputation up so that we could get that 10 to get Strait Talk. So that's the reason for all of these ideas. And then Hormuz gets 1 from their national ideas, and then you can get 1 from the advisor. There's a diplomatic relations advisor as well, and that's how you get to 10. So this was a lot of fun. Again, it's rewarding and also challenging to start as a smaller nation and break through. The first run, when I was going pretty well, I had developed Renaissance in my capital of Hormuz. I was doing great, and then the Timurids, who had remained unchecked, attacked, and they stole my capital. which was my largest development. It was the Renaissance, which would no longer spread to any of my other provinces. It was incredibly, incredibly frustrating to have. But the second run went a lot better. That was why I focused on making sure that Transoxiana got their independence and the Timurids got knocked down. And after that, it was pretty smooth sailing for the most part. Doing a run as Persia is fun. Fighting off the Mamluks, fighting off the Ottomans. Doing a This is Persia run was fun. Doing a Strait Talk run was not as much fun as I had hoped it would be, but it wound up being okay. There are the proof of achievements here. I've been TBRAW Gaming. Please do check out. This was done completely off stream, but I am part of a community, and this will be shared with them as the League of Average Gaming, and we play pretty averagely of Europa Universalis 4. We're certainly not Roomba or Flurry Worry or Budget Monk or anything like that, but we have fun. And you can see a lot of his games over there. He also mostly he runs on Twitch. I mostly run on my YouTube channel, TBRAW Gaming, and this should be posted to both sites, so both channels. So please do check out some of the videos that he has posted of his Twitch streams, and maybe even go check him out on Twitch and join us both in Discord. I've been TBRAW Gaming, and I'll see you next time.